Alright, what's up guys? We are back with another video, another trade recap that we took. Well, a trade recap of a trade that we took. Okay. So let's go over this trade. Let's open up right here. We already had it ready right here. I already put the replay, but we'll replay back here. Okay. So with this trade, again, a very difficult trade because I had to trade on my phone. Okay, so I was at church. Service ended around like 8 something. So I looked at the market right, it was wrapping up church, and right at Asian Open. And previously I had marked out already key areas or areas of interest, POIs, points of interest. So we had this giant fair value gap, and then we also had this fair value gap that we previously respected right here, previously bounced off of and went up higher. Right now, some people will be looking at this, and this is this is forming a downtrend. We still don't have a clear break of structure really, so I still felt like longs were pretty valid as a bias to have, since we had already previously respected this fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame, and we were just straight ripping on a daily time frame. Right. So bullish seemed like a no-brainer. Oh, why did you do that? Sorry, guys. Okay. So we saw that, and right at 8. Let's see, what was it? I mean, this is just a beautiful setup, because really our key level that we had already marked out here, which was that 1-hour fair value gap, got tapped into. So knew we was going to go lower after hitting this fair value gap, this 5-minute, and then we rip down and we literally just tap it. Right, so once we tap it, I go on the 1 minute, and I see that we do have some kind of structure forming. Right, not the most sexiest, not the most beautiful structure, but nonetheless it still is structure. All right, we had a tap of this one, then we had a retap this one, and then that's when we ripped higher. So with that, we had our 1 minute fair value gap right here, which on the 2 minute there's no fair value gap, no 3 minute of course. So 1 minute was the highest time frame fair value gap that we could have taken. So literally I had seen this, seen the tap. I was okay, let's see. Honestly, I didn't think we was gonna get traded. I thought maybe we was gonna get a resweep of that low and then go up. But once I saw this, it was a clear inversion. And it inversed pretty strongly in one single candle. That's what we'd like to see, is an inverse of one single candle, just rip up higher. So we took that trade. Now the thing about this is we got different entries on all 4 accounts. Some were good, some were bad entries, which leads to our P&L. Our P&L was it was good, but on some accounts, I think the lowest P&L we had was $300 on the second Apex account that we just passed yesterday, and then $600 on the topstep. Those are the two. My Fund of Futures made it 1,000, and on the other Apex account we made, on the first Apex account, we made 1,400. So yeah, and without all that happen, again, let me get back to the straight. So we had this inverse. Initially, I think we set our targets right here, just at the top of this big fair value gap for most of the accounts. Now, because we're trading on a phone, wealth charts is pretty difficult to set. Like, they have an option to set up a simple bracket so you can, set your sell stops and your sell limit at the same time as you enter the trade. But for some reason, it sucks on the phone. Like, you can't do it on the phone that easy as you could on the computer. But yeah, so we took this inversion. We entered in a trade. Some trades we got in right here. Well, actually, I think the only one we actually got in right here was the Trade of 8 account with the My Fund of Futures account. And we got in right here, And on some of the other ones, we got a little bit better entry on this retracement down here. I do think we got pretty close to our stop loss here, but we just held, and this is kind of where we were entering. You just kind of have a smaller stop loss for some of the accounts. Um, but yep. So then we get a sweep higher, I believe. We get another candle. See if this kind of Oh yeah. So I think we had time to go break even on one of them. As soon, what was it at? We didn't go break even actually. No, we didn't. We moved our stops up to this low because we didn't want to see this low get slowed. Um, so we moved it right up there, and as you can see, if we would have moved break even, we would have got break even on this. We just moved this right there because this was more of an appropriate risk. I think it was like $300 risk on all accounts. So it wasn't. If it would have been a loss, it would have been a loss. But uh, the market played in our favor and ran up higher. But I believe we were actually out on most accounts at this. I think the only account that we wasn't out was on the first one. Oh, let's actually go over that. So, let's see. This says it right here. Okay. So on the first Apex account, we got in for 10 micros. We went up 3.1 points, 31.6. So we got out at 30. We got $310. Now, what I had thought I had done was opened 20 on both of the Apex accounts, but we actually only ended up opening 20 on the first one. So after we closed this was kind of like our just taking profits. Because Apex is a little bit weird. Oh wait, actually, can we do this? Oh, no way. That's pretty good. I didn't even know we could do this. Yep, so we entered it right here, and then we exited right here for the $1,000 trade. And then we entered on this short, and then exited out right here. Now, really, the reason why we exit out here is because I just wanted to see a resweep of this, and we were tapping back into this fair value gap right here onto this 1 minute. So I just wanted to get out if we just retest it. Just potentially shoot shorter. So that way, if we went down to our original stop loss or to our modified stop loss was right under that candle low, this candlestick low, we would have just lost the profit that we had just made. So we would have been up 0, pretty much. That would have been like our break even. But I think we would have still been down 600 according to Apex because of the trailing drawdown. But that was that trade. So yeah, after that, I thought I had also put in already a sell limit for this one. So as I was closing out all the other trades, some of them I had to manually close. Some hit. I think the Tradeify hit take profit, but as they started, as price started to go up and tap into that fair value gap, we were wanting to hard to take profits just because it was a huge fair value gap. So it was pretty much unpredictable as to what price would do, if it would just run straight through the fair value gap or if it would just tap into the halfway midpoint and just reverse. So those were the things that we were looking for. Again, it was pretty hard to close out all the trades or to get into a perfect entry and set stop losses, take profits on all 4 accounts when you trade on a phone without a copy trader. Now that is something that we do plan on getting soon. But I didn't think I was going to be trading this much on my phone. So that's why, I'm on my computer. On my computer, I can trade the 4 accounts pretty easy. You can have, 4 tabs and enter into the 4 trades in a matter of seconds. But on the phone, it takes me, these trades probably took me about a good minute maybe to enter into all the trades. I had to also find out what was my risk going to be for every single account just because we were getting different entries. So I was, just quick math on the fly. Um, but yeah, so this trade ended up playing all the way up to, well, actually, let me go back over here and go to this one. So initially, we wanted to get out like right here, just because this was that high. Um, if we see in the 5 minute, or even this high, right, at that 80.42. Yeah, about this 840. That should have been our, excuse me, take profit. But also, there's only a certain amount of money that we can make on the Apex accounts, especially since they're, the performance accounts. So we have to keep that in mind when doing this. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this one. Now this one was kind of, it was very very weird because I think at a point we were right here. We were probably like $400 in drawdown. So that's why we placed our take profit right here. After seeing this, I mean, no wick candle. So then I knew this price was just bullshit. And, we get it retracing back to this high. But that is that. Um, it's the ideal thing. And so make a consistent low profit. We're not trying to get $10,000 on a single trade. Make that single low profit consistent targets. And maybe have one or two big days that adds to that buffer or adds to that payout amount. So again, still a really good trade. I like the trade. Um, Let me just put this because I don't know what this means, but I wonder if we can see these. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and then also on the top step. On the top step, we thought we had placed our take profit, but we did not. So once I saw that price was up there, I was like, okay, all the counts are at take profit. Let me just go back in, make sure I didn't make a mistake, make sure all the trades are closed. I go back in to all the accounts, and I go to Top Step, and we're still up. I think like $900, and we're still around our take profit. But really, literally, when I'm about to close the position, I mean, I didn't want to keep holding after we already tapped our TP, and then just hope it goes back up to TP. That wasn't a smart thing to do. So I literally closed it after, and it ended up dropping a few more $100, about $400 ended up dropping, just in us trying to close the position. Right? So it was kind of crazy. Let's see what's wrong with this dude right here. Yep. There's that P&L. Go back to Wolf Tracker. Okay. I don't think it lets us do that. Oh my gosh. Alright, give me a second here. I don't know why it just logged me out. Alright, we're back on here. Okay, whatever. We'll just look at this right here. So yeah, that is pretty much that. Is it for the trade? We passed the My Funded Futures with $200 over profit target. This still hasn't updated. We need $1,500 more for the top step. And then, we still need about 6 more days on the first PA account, and of course 7 more days on the second account. Yep. So trade back to our break even. We went back into this fair value gap. We tapped into it and we actually inversed it, I do believe. Yeah, we get an inverse and a market structure shift up here. I believe shorts were also valid at some point. Yeah, like right here, you could have entered down to this fair value gap. And then you just gotta have your stop loss all the way up to those highs. Yep, your stop loss at this high. After you see an inverse right here. Now this isn't ideal. Something that PB Trading or Patrick on PB and Trading says. That's kind of not a good sign, which I haven't noticed too much of these if I'm trading with the trend. But it is something to keep in mind. If prices are accumulating, it isn't an ideal setup. I mean, you can still take the trade, but it just isn't an ideal setup. But once you get this inverse, you get an entrance into this. Really, I would have probably done something like, what is the inverse? Probably do something like this. 50 ticks. Target this. Get that tap. I mean, although it would have really edged your stop loss there, but our trading plan is one trade and done. That is our modified trading plan. So with that, completes total profit of, I believe, north of 3K. Right, like $5 off of 3.5 on all 4 accounts. Yep. So that is it for that trade recap. Pretty basic setup. You know, it's pretty repetitive. We're looking for the same setup every single day. We're not looking to risk a shit ton. We're not looking to lose a shit ton. We're not looking to make a shit ton. All right, we're just trying to hit our key levels. If it doesn't hit our key levels, it doesn't, and if it does, it does. Right? Of course, we love it when it does, but you gotta treat each trade identically. Okay. Yep. That is it for this video. I do appreciate you guys for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow. If I do decide to take a trade, I'll be back tomorrow. Which tomorrow is, or today, I mean. I guess later today, whatever, dude. Later today, that'll be the end of this trading week. I'll be back over with a trading week recap. Our first trading week recap where we actually stop bullshitting and taking bullshit trades and over risking, over leveraging, and just dialing in on our risk, our entries, our conviction, which I do feel like this series has helped me a lot. This visual journal that I just go back and watch, because I have physically journaled, but making a video seems to me like keeps me more accountable than just journaling, because now I have to put my face on it for anybody that wants to see, and I have to take full responsibilities for these trades, because I took them. There's no one else that took them. So that is why my bad. That is why we are making these videos, right? But yeah, do appreciate you guys for watching. We will be back if we take a trade tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching again. See you.